Okay, the next set of tools that I'm going to show you, I call them the magic tools, and honestly, they could even be called miracle tools because they can make some pretty complicated selections very easily. The first tool that I want to show you is actually called the magic wand. I feel kind of bad that they use the word magic on magic wand because when you see the quick select, you're going to think that one's pretty good too. Now, the way the magic wand tool works is if you click on a particular color, it will try to select pixels that are within the similar color range. And the way that it chooses the color range is to use something called tolerance. The higher the tolerance, the more pixels it will choose, and the lower the tolerance, the less similar pixels that it will choose. And also, while you're picking a pixel, you can choose to pick only one pixel, or you could choose to pick an average. Let me zoom in and show you why that could make a difference. So notice when I zoom in that the yellow is not actually a solid color of yellow. There's some darker here, and then there's some lighter. So I'm going to do Control 0 to zoom back out. So if I choose to select just a point sample, I'm really only picking one color in that color range. And if I go with a little bit bigger average, I'll get a better selection of the general idea of the color. So notice though, the default is point sample and the default for tolerance is 32. And that's something you should actually try to remember or write down, because it doesn't automatically ever revert back to the default number of 32. And 32 is a great place to start because then you can choose whether you need to have a higher tolerance or less. So let me just click once with it on the defaults. And notice it selected pretty much most of the yellow pixels that we have here. It didn't really pick the red or the black, and it picked a pretty good area. If I change the tolerance, I'm going to deselect, Control D, I'm going to change the tolerance a little higher. And now if I click kind of in the same place, notice it selected even more. In fact, it kind of selected too much because it did select this red part here where it says Kodak. So I could work with it more. I could take my tolerance back down a little bit, or I could change my point sample to try to get a little bit better selection. So I just wanted to show you in this area, it's not necessarily the best selection tool to select this area. But notice if I come over here to this blue area, it selects it almost perfectly. And if I want to hold Shift and select this other blue area here, then it's doing a pretty good selection. And if I wanted it to go a little bit farther into the area where the blue and yellow meet, I could increase my tolerance a little higher. Deselect and try again. So I can work with it till I get the selection that I want. And then I'm going to go ahead and save that as blue area and choose OK. Now let me deselect that. The most common way that the magic wand is used is when you have an image like this that has a nice white background. It's often easier to select the white background and then choose the inverse to select the camera. Let me show you how we do that. If I click now, notice it was very easy for me to select the background. Now I might want to come in down here and do a little more to get rid of the shadow, or I might want to increase my tolerance a little more and see if I can make that selection. So now if I want to select just the camera, what I want to do is go to the Select menu and select the inverse. When I do that, now I have the camera selected instead of the background. So when you're looking to buy stock photos, or if you're doing your own photography on a white background or solid color background, then you can use this tool to very easily knock the background out and only keep the part of the image that you want to use. So when you're looking to buy stock photos, one of the things you can look for is it might say clipping mask or clipping path, and often that will mean that it has a solid white background. Okay, so that's the magic wand tool. Now the next tool is also really good and works like magic, and that tool is the quick select tool. Now the quick select tool, you'll notice when we bring it out onto our document, notice that it has a round circle around the tool. And if you view the videos about brushes, you'll notice that it looks like a brush, and that's because it's based on a brush. And the other thing I'd like you to notice about this tool is that it has a plus sign in the middle. So if you viewed the videos about combining selections, you know that the plus sign means it's going to combine your selection. So since it's a brush tool, we can adjust the size of the brush by using the bracket keys. So look on your keyboard, find the letter P, and then look to the right, and you'll see the square bracket keys. And you can use the left square bracket to make the brush smaller, or you can use the right square bracket to make the brush bigger. From experience, I've learned that a smaller brush usually works better, and basically it kind of works like the magic wand in that where you click and select lets it know, where you first click lets it know what you're looking for. So now I've clicked here and I still have the mouse down. As I move the mouse, notice how quickly it jumped to select all of that left-hand side of the camera. And it even did not select the button area because the color is enough different that it didn't select it. So how great is that? It just selected that part right away. And if I want to try that on the right-hand side, notice that it also selected the right-hand side. And it selected both of them. The reason it selected both of them is because the plus sign is still there. If I want to switch that plus sign to a minus sign, guess what the keyboard shortcut is? It's Alt, just like the other times we wanted to minus a selection. So I'm going to hold Alt or Option and get the minus. If I want to remove this left-hand side, I can just drag my cursor over the part that I don't want with the minus side turned on. So I'm going to save this and name it right side black area. Something descriptive so that I'll know what I'm going to load in a little bit later. And now I have that selection saved for the right hand side. So this is just so wonderful, and it works on actually some pretty complicated areas. So let me deselect. If I want to select the blue area, I don't even have to hold shift. I just click on the blue. It's selected too much because my brush is too big. So if I step back by doing Control or Command Z, I can make my brush even smaller to fit in that blue area. And then when I select it, notice how well it selected that area too. So this is just wonderful when it works. It's actually my first tool that I start with now, because when it works, it's just the very best. And then if it doesn't work, I would probably switch to the magic wand tool. If that doesn't work, then the next tool I would want to try is the magnetic lasso, and then probably the polygon lasso tool. And the main time that I use the rectangle and elliptical marquee tools is when I have something that is truly elliptical or rectangular in shape, then those would be the tools that I want to use.